Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name's Samuel Dudgeon, a practitioner of Chinese medicine and obviously an astrologer. And we're going to look at two charts, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, because there's an upcoming election this year and it's a hot topic. Now, I realize not that many people know so much about Chinese astrology, so part of my training as a practitioner, I had to learn this, and as because it's a deep part of Chinese medicine, actually, it's one of the eight limbs of Chinese medicine. So, for those who want to learn more about it, I mean, obviously, I've got a course on my website and I have my book, The Beginner's Guide to Chinese Astrology. So, I just put that out there for people who are keen. Now, we're going to look at these two charts because who's going to win this election? It's a interesting topic, and politics aside and emotion aside, let's just check out the differences between these charts, because Donald Trump's chart is a lot more clearer than Joe Biden's. Now, okay, so first off, right, what we need to look at is we'll start with Joe Biden. And always with Chinese astrology, right, we look to the day they're born on. So he's born in the day of the Yin Fire Day Master here. And we can see Donald Trump is born on the day of the Yin Earth Day Master there. So the Day Master, or what is also known as the self element, is the pivotal point of the whole chart. So the whole chart revolves around what this stem represents in a Chinese astrological chart. Now, just on a quick note, because I probably won't have time to explain the full dynamics of Chinese astrology, but we'll start with Joe Biden's chart and the first half of his life. So the year, month, and day pillar, right, up until this area of the chart is really the first kind of 30 to 35 years of life. Now, Joe Biden's chart's direction in life is a little bit unclear. The first half of his life, he's got what they call a changing charts. So changing charts really have to go through the history of the chart to find out the cycles and how they interact and how the flow's directed. But now, cut a long story short, he's in the second half of his life. So in Chinese astrology, the second half of the life, the day and the hour is most significant, right? Because this is the last part of our lives. Now, just on a quick note here, we've got these life cycles we move through. So Joe Biden's in the cycle of 81, which is the goat. And we've got the years, the annual years, right, that come up. So 2024 is the Yang Wood Dragon. Obviously the same with Trump. Trump's in a different cycle. He's over here. And the heavenly stem of Yang Water. Now, okay, so Joe Biden, right? Yin Fire Day Master. And he's using Earth because we've got the ox and the dragon here. And the rule is when there's no combinations in the chart, and there's earth in the branches, then they go with the flow of earth, because obviously earth is one of the most dominant elements. So he's got like a follow output chart. And a follow output chart is connected to creativity, intelligence, ability to speak, right? And of course, we need to work out what are the favorable elements, right? Because favorable elements are really important in Chinese astrology. So we know the ebbs and flows and what can potentially come up. So Joe Biden's first favorable element, because he's using earth, is going to be earth element. The second one will be metal, which is his money element. The third one will be water, his power element. His fourth will be fire, and his last one will be wood. So the fourth and fifth, the fire and wood, are usually the most unfavorable. The water can be 50-50, but primarily he's using earth and metal, right? So we're in a year of Yang Wood Dragon, and I would say probably the difficulty thing going on with him at the moment would be Woody's most unfavorable element, which is the ruling stem of the year. And because the dragon comes in as well. And the dragon is not so favorable for him, even though it's considered earth. It's part of water element combination. And it is connected to, which he has in his chart, his up and down configuration, which is ruled by the dragon and the horse. So I think there could be a potential difficulty for him this year during the election. And then also he's in the cycle of the goat. The goat, or sometimes they call it the sheep, is part of wood element combination, which is part of his most unfavorable element. And that connects to his month branch, the pig, forming a partial wood combination as well. So, I mean, there's so many other dynamics here, but I'm just giving a general overview. And then we'll just flip over to Donald Trump's chart, right? And I covered Trump's chart extensively in my book, actually, because I find his chart quite interesting, and it is very interesting from a planetary astrology point of view as well. And I'm going to cover both these guys in a different video in terms of planetary astrology and their charts. But Donald Trump is born on a Yin Earth Day Master, and he's born on the day of the day branch of the Yin Earth Goat, which actually, funnily enough, is one of the 6 intelligent days. So out of the sexagenary cycle we talk about in Chinese astrology, there's 60 days, and 6 of them, out of those 6, there's 6 intelligent days, and Trump's born on one of them. Now, this is his Yin Earth Day Master. We're talking about this day pillar here. Now, of course, Trump's chart is quite auspicious, actually. I would say compared to Joe Biden's, because he has the snake, the goat, and the horse, which forms fire element combination. It's a seasonal fire element combination. And then he's got the dog and the horse, which forms a partial fire element combination, right? So fire to earth is your resource element. So Trump follows resources, which means he's a thinker, right? He likes thinking, he likes digging, and he's born on a 6 intelligent day. And it's also, actually, in actual fact, it's one of the dictator days as well. I think there's about 6 of those as well. So Trump is actually born on a dictator day. So, and that can make one a little bit stubborn, inflexible to listening to other people's ideas. But that's, it can play out in a few ways depending on the balance of the chart. But also Trump has the yin earth combining with the yang wood stem here, which is highly auspicious because it's combining to power. His power element combination. Power gives you status recognition out into the public eye. And because this combination connects to the father, so there can be a really strong connection to the father. Also, it brings status and recognition. And I think one of the key things we need to look at, particularly this year, is because of the Yangwood Dragon year, right? Whereas for Trump, his day master here is actually combining with the Yangwood Dragon, which is his power element. And the power element, usually in the combination years, gives you an elevated status in public status and recognition. So I would say, just on a general note, if there's no election fraud going on, by the way, but he will, in my opinion, just from looking at the Chinese astrology chart, he has an advantage to win this election over Joe Biden, just because the element, because one of Trump's, when you follow a resource chart, there's 2 favorable elements Trump's using. Obviously fire, he needs fire because that's his resource element. And that's probably why he's got red hair as well, right? Because his chart's really all fire. So it can give an orange tinge to the complexion, but can make people a redhead too. Also, and which means that the fire element is generally ruled with a lot of Martian energy, a lot of Mars energy. But so his favorable elements is resource element, which is fire, because fire supports earth, followed by power element, right, which is wood. So on this level, I would say, because of the combination here, he's got an advantage over Biden to win this election. Now, there's a few other things that are going on, because if it's held on the 5th of November, I think it is held on the 5th of November, but someone can write in the comments below if they like and can pull me up on this. But so both of the guys, it's a yin water rooster day, actually. So on the actual day, right, the water element is actually not so favorable for Trump. It's probably more favorable for Biden, actually, just on that level. But I would say the annual year will be more powerful in overriding that. So I would say that, yes, we'll see what happens, because there's a lot of things that need to play out here. I mean, because obviously Trump was going through his he got convicted, right, of falsifying business records, right, on 34 accounts or something like this. So that happened this year. But the funny thing about it, Trump and Biden actually have this in their charts. They both have the monthly virtue star, which can make you kind, benevolent. But also, the ancient Chinese would say, when you have this, right, you receive assistance from the universe. And I just, thought I'd throw that in there as well, because this is kind of interesting to see how things will play out. But I would say in a more of a who's in the kind of standoff in the cycles they're in, Trump's probably doesn't need the water element in his luck cycle here, and Biden's not in a good one, particularly for him as well. So what to me was really going to represent an advantage for Donald Trump was, like I said, his day master combining with the annual year is really, really powerful for him. Even though Earth, when you follow resources, Earth is not one of your most favorable elements. It's the most unfavorable. The dragon's branch is considered Earth element, but it's more part of water element combination. So the dragon has more of a strong water tone to it than as opposed to Earth. So in essence, I would say Trump definitely has the advantage. So I just thought I'd just throw this in quickly. And for those interested in Chinese astrology, comment below. And if you got any questions, you can contact me. Visit my website, astropillarsastrology.com.au. And yes, we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting year. I'm going to cover, I think the next one I'm going to go through will be Julian Assange's chart coming up, because I find his chart really interesting in terms of what's just gone on. So we'll look into that as well. And stay tuned. We don't know who's going to win this one, but in my opinion, it's looking more on Trump's side. So we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening, guys.